Genesis 5. This is the written account of Adam's family line. When God created mankind, he made them in the likeness of God. He created them male and female and blessed them. And he named them mankind when they were created. When Adam had lived 130 years, he had a son in his own likeness, in his own image. He named him Seth. After Seth was born, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Adam lived a total of 930 years and then he died. When Seth had lived 105 years, he became the father of Enoch. After he became the father of Enoch, Seth lived 807 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Seth lived a total of 912 years and then he died. When Enoch had lived 90 years, he became the father of Kenan. After he became the father of Kenan, Enoch lived 815 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived a total of 905 years and then he died. When Kenan had lived 70 years, he became the father of Mahalalel. After he became the father of Mahalalel, Kenan lived 840 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Kenan lived a total of 910 years and then he died. When Mahalalel had lived 65 years, he became the father of Jared. After he became the father of Jared, Mahalalel lived 830 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Mahalalel lived a total of 895 years and then he died. When Jared had lived 162 years, he became the father of Enoch. After he became the father of Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Jared lived a total of 962 years and then he died. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. After he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked faithfully with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived a total of 365 years. Enoch walked faithfully with God, and then there was no more because God took him away. When Methuselah had lived 187 years, he became the father of Lineage. After he became the father of Lineage, Methuselah lived 782 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Methuselah lived a total of 969 years and then he died. When Lineage had lived 182 years, he had a son. He named his son Noah and said, "He will comfort us in the labor and painful toil of our hands caused by the ground the Lord has cursed." After Noah was born, Lineage lived 595 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Lineage lived a total of 777 years and then he died. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. In Genesis 5 is a genealogy that traces the lineage from Adam to Noah. So it shows the continuation of humanity through 10 generations. What may seem is just a list of names that does carry deep historical significance. It highlights the Adam's descendants through Seth, contrasting with the line of Cain in Genesis 4. The phase in his own likeness after his image. This reaffirms that humanity continues in God's image despite the fall. The long lifespans. Adam lived 930 years. Methuselah lived 969 years. This could symbolize a time when the effects of sin were still unfolding in creation. A repeated pattern was in this, and he died. This phrase repeats throughout the chapter. It emphasizes the consequences of sin. Death had entered the world just as God warned. The exception in this was Enoch. Enoch walked with God, and instead of dying, he was taken by God. Genesis 5:24 said that. This foreshadows later biblical figures like Elijah, who was taken to heaven without dying. 2 Kings 2:11. Enoch's story suggests that a close walk with God leads to life beyond death, pointing to eternal life through faith. Then we had the arrival of Noah. Noah's birth is marked with hope. Noah was said in the book that he will bring relief from the curse. This sets the stage for the coming flood and God's plan for redemption through Noah's family. This shows us that sin does lead to death, but there is hope and it remains. Even in a fallen world, God is still working through a faithful lineage. God has a plan. The genealogy points toward Noah, setting up the next major act of God's salvation story.